Hey, this is Jerry. I trust you're feeling awesome. Today I wanted to talk to you about how to stay in the flow. Because so many people say, how do you stay in the flow of life? How do you stay on that vibration where you're completely up all the time? How do you maintain your positive attitudes? Why does it seem so easy for you? These are the questions that most people ask when they see other people that are doing well, being happy, feeling on top of the world, doing successful things. And they always want to know how they do it. The trick is to stay in the flow. But here's the thing, staying in the flow doesn't necessarily mean being up all the time. Staying in the flow could mean that sometimes you're down. And even when you're down, you're not necessarily on a lower vibration. Because really there is no up and down, there's just flow. And if you can get your head around that, then everything is super cool. Everything becomes easy. Everything becomes effortless. Life is rhythm and vibration. And when you realize this, and you stop judging all situations, you, by default, stay in the flow. When water flows through rocks, down riverbeds, sometimes it twists and it turns and it comes up against obstacles. But it flows over these obstacles because it doesn't judge these obstacles. It doesn't try and go through these obstacles. It just accepts that these obstacles are there and it just naturally flows around. So when things are happening in your life and you get a challenge or an obstacle, the trick is to not judge it. Don't consider it a certain way, or don't view it as though it's hard or tough or it's big or small. Just look at everything the same. Take the illusory sting out of everything that could potentially arise in your space by just allowing it to be there. It's that simple. And just by allowing things to be there, whether those things are events, whether they're people, circumstances, situations, just allow them to be there and don't judge them. Move towards them. And as you get towards them, you'll naturally see a way around or over. You just need to be like water. It's that simple, and you stay in the flow. Waves on the water are actually an illusion. The water's actually flat, completely flat. But what's happening underneath the water is what creates the waves. And it's what's happening within inside of you that creates the ripples in the environment around you. And all of these ripples are created with your perception. You look at something and say, oh my gosh, that is a nightmare, that's bad. But it's not a nightmare or bad. It's just a situation. It's not good, it's not bad. It's not good, it's not evil. It's not hard. It's not easy. It's just what it is. Stop labeling, stop judging. I mean, we call people certain things. We might say, look at that guy, he's spiritual. Look at that man, he's tall. Look at that that person over there, they're ugly, they're fat, they're angry, they're horrible. We come up with all of these different labels for people. We say, look at that man, look at that woman, they're beautiful. I wish I was that beautiful. We shouldn't be judging anybody by the ripples, the waves that are created on the surface by the underlying currents of the thoughts inside of our minds. It's that simple. You know, people say to me, Jerry, you're spiritual. I'm not spiritual. I'm not spiritual. You can't define me by the word spiritual. You can't label me. Well, actually, you can label me. But I am not going to accept those labels. I am not going to let your opinion of me change the way that I feel about myself. You can't define me by a word. You can't define anything by a word. We call a tree, but you can't define a tree with the word tree. A tree is light, a tree is energy, a tree is natural, a tree is so much, yet so little. You, my friends, are nothing. And by default, you are also everything. I am no one, but I am also someone. But again, these are just words. They mean nothing. When you look at another human being, or you look at a tree, or you look at a flower, start to look at the lights, the underlying essence that runs through all things. Everything is natural. The tree, the bark, the leaves, the branches, they're an illusion. They are the waves created by the ripple, by the undercurrent. I look like I've got skin and hair and eyes, but they mask my lights. To some people, maybe not to you. I see your light, even through this camera. I would never define you by your human body. I don't even like calling people by their names. Kate or John or Terry or Tony or Richard or Pamela. I don't like using names. Because names themselves cannot define who you really are, what you really are. You can't define you. You're undefinable. You're immeasurable. You're not solid. You're not empty. You're a mass of charged particles. An electromagnetic frequency, charged and perceived by your human eyes and your human brain and your neurological system. And you think you're real. You think that I'm real. You think that I'm sat here in a chair talking to you, sharing with you. I'm just consciousness. And this human body is just how me, the consciousness that is the underlying essence of who you're looking at through this camera, chooses to interface with you through Jerry. And your consciousness, which is a part of my consciousness, chooses to interface through your human body. to communicate and connect with other people in your environment, to experience what it's like to be human in this solid, physical, slow body that we know so little about. Or actually, let me rephrase that we've forgotten so much about. Because you, my friend, are soul technology. I'm soul technology. We all are. And you can't define that. It's beyond technology. And once you realize that you're this underlying light, this essence, this continual, infinite, expansive, never-ending, beautiful, electromagnetic charge that's fractal in nature, an ever-increasing, ever-expansive, never-ending pattern that moves off 360 degrees in all directions and keeps on expanding out into infinite space. Once you realize that that's what you are, that you are sound, that you are rhythm, that you are vibration, you can naturally sink effortlessly into the natural rhythm and vibration of all things as they are. To be one with life, to be one with nature, to connect with the birds and the bees, the flowers and the trees, to feel yourself on the deepest possible level, zero judgments, completely in the flow. And that, my friend, is how you stay on a high vibration, by realizing that there is no high vibration. There is no low vibration. There is no intermediate vibration. There's just the flow. The flow has no ups, the flow has no downs. The flow just flows. The Chinese use the term wu wei, which can be translated in a state of spontaneous flow. And that's how the wind is. That's how the birds and the bees are, the flowers and the trees. Pretty much everything in the environment around you, apart from most human beings, are in the flow. Because most things in life don't judge. They bounce, they flow, they move, they jiggle. Effortlessly. They know there's no up, they know there's no down. They know there's no in, they know there's no out. No hard, no easy. No hot, no cold. Just a continuous stream of consciousness. So for you to bounce and bubble and love with infinite compassion, and to be all that you can be, and to live the most extraordinary version of yourself right now, in this 3D reality, you need to let go of the 3D reality. You need to let go of everything in your environment around you, and you need to flow. And caress everything that flows into your path with love, with affection, with a great big smile, an open heart, an underlying clarity, because you know that everything you meet in your path is a part of you. And how can anything that's a part of you, this one stream of consciousness, get in your way? Does water get in the way of water as water flows down a river? No, it doesn't. So how can you get in the way of yourself flowing through life? You might say to me, Jerry, but if I'm walking down the road and a car runs me over, I'm going to get injured. You know what? Your human body may get injured, but does that mean it's good? Does that mean it's bad? No. It just means that you've got run over. Stay in the flow, accept it. Move, jiggle, bounce. Fall flat on your face and get back up again. If you lose your legs, if you lose an arm, if you lose your sight, carry on flowing. Because you're learning, my friends. You're growing stronger and stronger every single day. You're like a beautiful butterfly that's just emerged from a long dark sleep, that's been cocooned inside a chrysalis. And now it's time to leave the branch and fly into open space to show your beauty to the world. You don't need to know where you're going. That would be boring. Move through the unknown. That's where the magic happens. Live in the flow. Live with love. Live with light. Be your lights. Be open. And let the magic inside of your soul carry on this magical journey. I love you so much, with my heart, with my soul, with every fibre of my entire being. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel now and share these videos with your friends, with your family. Together we can work as a team and make this world a much more harmonious place. Teamwork is the key, my friends. Love, compassion. A world where the planet's resources are shared equally between all men, women and children. This is possible. I know this. Why do I know this? How do I know this? I've just explained it all in this video. We're one, my friends. Zero separation. I'll see you again very, very soon. Thank you so much.